Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode on Angela Petina Presents. Now I have a special guest from Switzerland. He's an actor, a screenwriter, fashion model, songwriter, and also a musician. His name is David Schaefer. Let's learn more about him. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Say what you want, say what you like. I'm not the one, shout and take a hike. You made your bed, now go lie. I'm not the one who's spreading it right. Standing there, pretending that it's alright.
How are
I'm not
you?
the one.
I'm doing good. So nice to meet you, David. Thank you so much for being my
Very
show.
nice to meet you too.
Fantastic.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me. When you asked me, I was very happy.
Yes, and we have a lot of things to talk because I like I love your music, and I've been sharing on my radio. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much. But what can I say, David? I'm so
That means a lot
impressed.
to me.
Oh, thank you. So greetings from North Mexico and South Texas, because I live in both sides, and you're from Switzerland. What a beautiful country.
That's
What
correct.
a beautiful people. Yes.
I mean, I love Mexico too. I used to live in Mexico City.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I was
good.
living in Condesa and other places. It's
Fantastic.
beautiful.
Yes. What do you like Mexico most? What do you like more about Mexico?
I miss the Mexican food. I like
Yeah.
tacos. I like all the good Mexican food. What I miss the most as well is the people, the country. In a way of, I went to this pyramid of the sun. I have
Yeah.
pictures. I need to show you this one day. It's very beautiful. Where what is the name? It starts with T. Telocapan or something.
Teotihuacan.
Thank you so much. It's so difficult to spell, but I was
Yes,
there.
it's
And it was a really
hard.
so nice.
That's good. That's good. No, yes, Mexico is very beautiful, and I'm from the north, from Monterrey. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, but we are planning to go
Monterrey.
to.
I heard that. I love Mexico because the culture and the people were friendly, the food, the just the lifestyle in general. It's so fantastic to be there and experience it.
Fantastic. No, thank you so much, and we appreciate you like my culture, and looking forward to visit your country as well, because I've been in Europe, I've been in England, Germany, and Greece,
Beautiful.
and from Asia, Turkey, and yeah, I love to travel worldwide.
We are very similar. I used to be in. I traveled as well in Asia, China, Malaysia. I've been to Panama, Guatemala. And other places. I think, like you said, traveling is beautiful to meet different cultures.
Exactly. And my husband is from Argentina. Woo, to the last part of the world.
It's a good mix,
Yes,
isn't it?
exactly.
It's a good mix.
Well, what can I say? So thank you so much, David, again for being my show. Actor,
Thank you.
screenwriter, fashion model, songwriter. I'm so impressed about your music. That's something we'll be talking about a little bit later. And
Yes.
well, what can I say? What a beautiful country. Greetings from Texas and Mexico to Switzerland. How are you? How you been?
I've been very good, actually. I'm very blessed in a way of, I've been, like I said before, I've been traveling a lot, and now I'm more in Europe, which is beautiful because I can be near my friends, near my family. And when I lived in Mexico or in Guatemala or other places, I was home for once a year. So now the family is for me is everything, and the people and friends, and they support my music, they support my acting, they support my modeling, and it's just great. And everything is quite crazy at the moment because we do the music, and I'm working on an album with my producer in London, in Bristol, and I signed with a new acting agent, amazing agent, WGM Talent in London. And so many things are happening, so my mind is all over the place.
But that's good. To be busy is a blessing. It's a blessing because it's
I think so
productive.
too.
That's how I see it. That's good.
And when you asked me for the interview, I was very happy to do it, because when I checked also your your background and what you did, and you have so many topics you can like we could do maybe 5 soon.
Oh, thank you.
We will never maybe have the time to fit all the topics you talk about.
Exactly.
Usually,
That's
in your show.
yes. It was the purpose of my show is to support the independent artists, musicians, filmmakers, actors,
Great.
to have a space, to express, to share, and it's welcome to any. Even I interview one or two persons. They are a high level profile, and they're very
Yeah.
humble and support also the independent arts. And I always tell
Yeah.
them, as long as you support the independent arts, you're welcome to my show.
I love that. I mean, not I always say, because I coach a lot of clients as well these days, and I try to give people back what I learned on my journey. And Angela, I mean, it's a really difficult industry when you want to be a model or an actor or a singer. You will have times where you want to quit, and you will have times you feel tired. But if you love what you do, you will always keep going. Because
Exactly.
if you love your job, or if you love something, your passion, you always find your energy to keep going.
Yes, exactly.
And that's the
And
message I give to the people: never give up. Anything you do in life, never give up.
yes, and I like to. I've been following you, I would say, like more than a year, and I like you inspirational. You always bring give your thoughts and advice and things like that you are giving right now. And when I
Yes.
start with this podcast, I was thinking I will be contact David. I want to contact David. Yes,
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
people. I like so much people like you. And this is something, David,
Thank
I would
you.
like to mention in this podcast. Um, I love your music,
Tell
but
me.
what I like most is the lyrics. Oh my God, you're very romantic. What a
Thank you so
beautiful
much.
lyrics. Yes.
I mean,
And
I have so much experience. I have so much. Sorry to interrupt you.
yes,
Um,
okay.
I have so much experience in a way of, I traveled to so many places in the world, and I met the most wonderful people, from China or from other places where, wealthy people and not wealthy people, poor people, we can learn from everyone. Because in the end of the day, I believe we're all human beings, and no one is perfect. Look at this. This interview is all over the place, but it's a good, in a good way. It's natural, and that's how I see life. I always try to give back my knowledge I learned on my journey. And some people sometimes say, you're like a preacher, David. And I'm like, I'm not a preacher. I'm just trying to share my experience, and hopefully I help someone on his journey have it maybe less difficult or more, easy. Because if I go back to my journey as a child, I've been sick, I had a heart defect, I've been bullied in school, I had really a tough time. But at the same time, when you grow through those experiences, it makes you who you are today.
Exactly.
Like, I wouldn't, and same your journey, most probably too. You've been through a lot of amazing things, but also things that made you who you are.
Exactly. No, yeah, I understand it completely, but sometimes I also suffered from bullying when I was a kid, but even as adult and workplaces. And
I'm
but
sorry to hear that.
sometimes yes, but you know what? At the beginning, we start thinking, I said, what happens to me? But in
Yeah.
reality, help us to empower us, to push us to do something, to prove something. Like for example, in my case, have received bullying in previous jobs because of my English accent. And
Oh no.
and it is sad. And at the beginning I was thinking, I'm not gonna be able to learn English because I raised in Mexico. I was born in the United States, but I raised in Mexico. And
Yeah.
having difficulties for me to learn the English language. But but thanks to those people, when I received the invite to start my radio show on Radio Lumini in England,
Yeah.
England is completely English. And the first thing I
Yeah.
told to the producer, I can't. People will be difficult to understand my English. And she told me, hey, do it. Thanks to Martina Messer, I did that. And now I have a podcast. I know I have an accent. I know I have something I need to
Amazing.
still working on. But thanks to them, they push me. They push me to do something I was thinking is gonna be impossible, but it's not impossible. Everything is possible. And
And
what
no,
you
I
say
want to- I
reminds
want
me.
I love your story. It's beautiful, and I can tell you one quote that is stuck in my mind. I have many quotes, and if I could, I would post every day just quotes to make people inspired. But I can't do that. It's not my job. So there's one quote. It goes like this: "Only those who can see the invisible can do the impossible."
Exactly.
So you have to see the invisible in a way of you have to believe that things can change at any time. And the people I coach in my free time, are sometimes big businessmen and people who actually have it all, but at the same time, they maybe lack on confidence or something. And I always say, you have to be confident with yourself. And it's so difficult these days because we hear something from a person, maybe it's insulting you, we take it personal. Me, for example, I had so many rejections. Angela, I was always too tall for modeling. You will smile now, but because you maybe think models are tall, but I was always too tall. So me and my previous agent I had years ago had to find a way to get in front of the clients. And, I couldn't say I'm 6'4", 6'5", because they wouldn't book. So we had to say I'm 6'2", 6'3", to at least get a chance. So, sorry, I'm talking all over the place, but what I'm saying is you have to be strong, authentic, yourself, and many doors will always open for you. Anything is possible.
Exactly.
It's for everyone. We can change our lives any day.
And the key is the consistency, not because someone say no to you is the end of the world. It's not the right door for you, but this has to be a many door or another big door, or the appropriate one was made for you.
What I like on your story is, in the beginning you told me, the English was not so good, but today you have your own podcast and your English is really good. Okay. I had a similar situation. My English was not good in the beginning, and my first trip was in China. I was 3 months living in China, and I arrived at the model apartment with a suitcase, and there were like 4 female models, beautiful, opening the door from the apartment and said "Privyet," which means apparently in Russian like hi. And they only spoke Russian, and I spoke only Swiss, German, and English. So it was really difficult, But at the end, I think difficult times make us stronger.
Exactly.
Make us a lot stronger.
Yes, no, and those kind of difficulties that we are facing, if we won't be able to have that experience, maybe we won't be able to develop the courage to develop persistent to reach our dreams. That's how I see it. For example, in my case, if I won't be able to have that pushing bullying years back, I won't be able to pressure myself. Okay, if I want to learn English to develop confidence, I need to start a place that there's no possibility we'll speak Spanish. So I want to push myself.
It is so true. I always say it. If you start tomorrow a new sports, for example, or any activity, first you're not good in that. But if you keep going and keep pushing, after maybe 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, you improve a lot.
Exactly.
People always tell me, Angela, you are a great singer, David. I love your voice and stuff. And I say, you haven't heard me singing with 16, 17 years old. People told me you can't sing, you sing like a cat, you're, some Michael Jackson's brother. And, like, even they mean it in a bad way, but I love Michael Jackson. I think he was great king of pop, so, but they said it in a bad way, but I understand because I was not good at that time. Everything needs time and improvement. We go through certain stages of getting better. And sometimes it's really about saying to yourself, am I really good enough, or do I need to practice more?
Exactly. It's like a sport. We have to develop a skill. Like, and nobody was born with muscles or a specific skill. You have to work and you have to develop. Yes. No, but what can I? Mm-hmm. I think the most difficult part of to be a musician performance, because I took 5 classes of classical music style years before.
Mm-hmm.
is now how potential you have your voice, because sometimes you have a super potential voice, but if you don't know how to interpret and feel the song when you're performing, does not mean anything. I have 3 teachers. Absolutely. And they told me, oh, Angela, you have a very powerful voice because I can reach super high notes and very low notes. But if you don't feel the music, if you don't feel where you're feeling the character inside of the areas, you're not gonna make it. Yes, true. And that doesn't have to be classical, any music.
I think I agree with you, because when I used to start it in a Disney pop band in Germany. I was a member of a Disney pop band, and that's how my music journey actually started. And then I took a long break and worked more in the background for DJs and other people. And then I felt confident enough to say, okay, now my solo single could come. And then I find the right producers. It's sometimes also a lot of luck meets hard work and opportunity, I believe. And it's very true what you said. You can sing a song technically perfect, but you don't feel it. And the listener will be like, he's a great singer, but I don't feel it. So
you don't feel,
what you
don't
said
transmit the message. The message not transmitted. That's the thing.
Yeah. And when I was in the studio in Cheltenham, where I recorded Only You, my first single, and like you said before, the lyrics, it reflects my life, because I've been traveling the world and I was trying to find love, and I'm 38 years old, even though people say I look like a vampire because I don't age, but I'm not a vampire.
I was thinking, I'm sorry, but I was thinking in the beginning, you were 25. I was telling my husband, he's so young. You're still young. You're very young. But I said, yeah, he's still young. He's like a teenager.
Thank you. It is so funny, Angela. Today I was just in the city meeting a good friend of mine, which I know for many, many years. And I had a haircut. I had longer hair before, but now I had a haircut, you see. So my friend was like, you look like 6 years younger, or 10. And I'm like, you just need to get a good haircut to sideboard and you look younger.
No, you're very handsome and very beautiful soul. Yeah, you're beautiful soul and very handsome man. And what I like, and I'm very honored to have you, because, I'm pretty sure those people who are been listening in this podcast and also radio show, because I like to share to Radio Illuminate. And I love the way you're sharing, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will be getting benefits of your experience. You're a person suffering from bullying, insecurity, and all these things.
Yeah. For me, it's I had a lot of like I said, I had a lot of tough times in my life when I was sick as a child, but somehow, life was not done with me, I always say, and I was getting better, and now I'm strong and healthy, and I can work out, and I'm really grateful for my life today. I really am. Even though we sometimes have days where, we're like, I want this and this, and I have dreams and goals, and sometimes it takes longer to reach your goals. But I think it's so important, especially in these days, to sometimes relax and say, I'm okay. I feel good. I have family, I have friends, I have job, and things can always get better. And so, yeah, my main message is really, that's why I coach people as well. help others. Because if I'm 80, 90 years old and I have all these successes and, have so many nice experiences in life, which I can look back to, it means nothing if I don't help
Exactly.
someone else.
Mhm.
And that's the journey maybe, I learned in the last, let's say 8, 9 years to really help others as well. When actors are calling me or models say, hey, I got this job or I got signed to this agency, which I helped them. One actor, for example, I helped him to get his agent and today he's doing really well. So it's nice,
Yeah, I think that's the beauty to be humans. But sadly, at the time passed, people start growing up, with the education
Yeah.
system or the political system, without just in general, right? People are step by
Yeah.
step like losing that empathy. But this is the magic as a kid, because if you see the children younger than 5 years old, they always share. They don't care if your
Yeah.
background, your religion, the color, whatever. But there's the magic of the children. But in reality, is our human nature, like you're saying. We are
True.
here to help each other. But that's the purpose.
I think you said that beautifully. It's about empathy and compassion for others. Other people, they were not nice to me until I realized, and that's a growth you do in your life, that you were also not perfect. Back to what I want to say is help other people also have an easier path. And
Exactly.
that's what I'm trying to do in anything I do. I always try to see the purpose in it.
That's good. That's good. And
Yeah.
and the good thing also, for all your experience, professional experience, like you've been for 10 years in the international model and top agency, but you have the experience enough to encourage others, to advise someone else who wants to be in that dream, and the acting and the music, because like you said, the entertainment industry is not easy. It's a lot of consistency work. Most of the at the beginning, most of the time you don't get payback. It's consistency, get there, get there, get there. But if you really love what you're doing, you're there.
I think you said it completely right. In the beginning, you do free jobs all the time. You do unpaid work as an actor. I started with a student film in London, or I did some, extra work on the side, where you like in the background of a movie, but you're not important. You're not important. You're not the main character, but you're in the film in the background drinking coffee or something. But that's how almost every actor started. I think also Harrison Ford and those people did that too.
Yes, yes.
It's a great process because a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine from Hollywood, said to me, David, it's all about learning and doing good work.
Exactly.
Everything else is a plus.
Exactly. For example, my husband said to me when I feel down because I don't have, for a moment, thousands or millions of followers, but he says, but you have a quality, you're building a brand, it will be coming later. Yes.
I think it's very true, Angela. I mean, people always sometimes message me and say, why don't you have more followers? You should have 100,000 followers and people who know you. And I say, sometimes people follow other people because they like to follow, and maybe they don't like to follow me. I don't know what it is, but in the end, we can speak, and everyone has a purpose in saying the things. I'm different than you. Somebody else is different, but we can all learn from each other. And I don't think you need a lot of. Yes, okay. If you have a lot of followers, it's fantastic. But you can reach one person with one message. That's what
Exactly.
I learned over the years.
Yes, and he told me the other day, if you want a big followers, just simply do something vulgar, and they will start following you.
I think, sadly, it's true. Some people will like you, and some people will unfortunately not like you. Like Angela, that's what I learned on the journey is you try to please people, but you can't please everyone. Like some people don't like you for no reason. Some people don't like you maybe for a reason, but if you are yourself, and I'm sometimes too much myself, but if you yourself and you help others to be themselves too, I think you did a good. You can be proud of yourself in the end of the day.
We need to be loyal to ourselves first and do what we like,
Yes.
everything we feel happy, because if we want to please the other people, maybe those things are gonna make us feel miserable. So
Yes.
we need to, yes,
Yes.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
No,
Absolutely.
I know what I know what you mean. I am very open person. You can talk to me anytime, any day, and I like to always help others, and also just be myself in a way of speaking the truth, my truth. And what I learned now is, for example, the people I'm coaching now who sometimes they lack confidence and they can't speak in front of people, even though they have a big job or something. And once you can, help someone getting their full potential, which, because we're all unique, that you don't have to be afraid of anything. Anything is just part of life, and it just happens. Feeling happens, having success happens. Carpe diem is my favorite quote. Like, live the moment, and sometimes don't think too far ahead. Like,
exactly.
because if I'm not now in the moment, not in the moment, I would miss this moment.
Yes, the past, you cannot change the past, but the future doesn't exist. So just live the moment. This is always, and another quote I like also is, don't focus
Beautiful.
the end of the journey, just enjoy. No, don't focus the final destination, just enjoy the journey.
Hey, that's so great, because isn't it true? Like I always say, I think back to the journey I had in modeling or in acting or in music, and the moments in the studio with the people or in the model apartments, and all those things. I don't really remember so much the successes. You're right. It's more the experience we have together.
Exactly, absolutely. And you, David, but you were in very famous brands like Hugo Boss, Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
How you feel at the beginning? How was the beginning to get to those brands? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Of course. I can tell you, honestly, when I first, for example, shot the Men's Health cover, it was always a boy's dream to shot the Men's Health cover. And many friends of mine told me, you're never going to shoot the Men's Health cover, because obviously it's impossible if a boy just says, I'm going to be one day on the Men's Health cover. But that shows you that dreams can come true. And when I moved to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and I was living in a model apartment in Kuala Lumpur, and I knew that the Men's Health cover is something I really want to shoot. And my agent at that time told me, you can maybe shoot the Men's Health cover here, because that's what they do. They have covers, and different covers, magazines, and one is the Men's Health. And believe me, I trained every day in the gym. And I was seeing myself on that Men's Health cover, like law of attraction, talking so much, visualization and all that. And I was pumping like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, I'm going to be on the Men's Health cover. I'm going to be a Men's Health cover. And obviously, I wasn't 100% thinking that I'm going to be on that cover. But 2 months later, my agent called me and it's like, you have a casting for the Men's Health cover. Wow. And I came to the casting, maybe 200 guys, amazing shape, six-pack. And I look at me and I'm like, I'm not even in shape. Like, those guys are super in shape. Like, what am I doing? I should go home. But my intuition told me I should be at that right moment in this place. And I stayed, and I was like, even if I don't get the cover or if they don't like me, I'm going to do this casting. And when I met the photographer, he's like, "Hi, David, where are you from?" And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from Switzerland." So I told him my journey, and he's like, "Compared to the other guys, you're good in shape, but you're not in amazing shape." And I'm like, we started talking, had a good chemistry, and why was the reason why in the end I booked this cover, and the other guys don't, because he told me, "You looked like a normal guy from the street who can just sign up in the gym and work out." And that was the selling point, because if I would be extremely in shape, maybe somebody said, I'm not going to buy this magazine because this guy's, I will never reach that body like this guy on the cover. But when they look at me, like, it's a natural body, I can reach that. So I learned a lot about marketing in that time as well. But it was amazing feeling to be on the cover of Men's Health. So
yeah, no, absolutely. And it's good to share those things, because how many people in general, they have the fixed idea how to perfectly shape to reach a specific dream. But like in your says, those people being overweight and six-pack and all these things, but in reality, on that particular moment, they were looking more natural body style. And you were I don't want to say the lucky one, you were the blessing one. So and that's good, you get it, so that's good.
I mean, I was extremely grateful, because it was always my boy's dream as a dream. As a kid, I had that dream to be on a Men's Health cover, and especially because I was sick as a child, who didn't have I had an amazing childhood. I love my parents and everyone, and my family is amazing. God bless them. But because I was sick, I had this massive dream to be on that Men's Health cover. And when I shot this Men's Health cover, not only I got more famous in Switzerland and, in my country, and more known as a brand, but also it shows me that anything is possible again. Sick as a child, and then on the biggest Men's Health fitness cover you can imagine. So, sometimes you have to be a little bit naive and dream big.
Exactly.
And don't let no one tell you that you cannot achieve something, because we are all capable to achieve something.
It's the power of attraction, but the main key is the consistency. And that's what you did. That's good.
It is so true. So true. It's consistency, I think, that eventually will give you the opportunity.
Exactly. No, and that's a beautiful example, because to be appearance in that cover page, it's not easy, but it was not impossible for you. So you say, okay, that's my dream. I'm gonna work hard. If they reject me, it's okay. You continue. That's the key to how to deal with rejection.
Absolutely. And Angela, it was obviously in the model apartment was a bit jealousy afterwards, because we were like 8 people living in a small model apartment. And that's the other thing, in fashion, you live sometimes in 5-star hotels, or in acting too. But then also you live in places, or you do an interview like now, where the cat is walking back and forth, or, I'm in a corner trying to do a good interview. So everything. An artist's life is all about improvisation and making the best out of the moment you have, basically.
Exactly.
And that's why I always tell my friends and people, you never know when your success or your dream or your big goal you had, and the success is around the corner.
Exactly.
You never know. You told me before about followers. You never know, maybe tomorrow you post one video and it goes viral, and you have maybe 30 million, let's say 10 million follower overnight, like some actors do when I have a Netflix role or something.
Yes, that's true. We never know. Yes. That's like you said, the key is to be consistent and don't give up and deal with rejection. It's not easy, especially I've been learning a lot from the actors and actresses, and like you says, what about if you? I'm pretty sure that before you attend the casting for the magazine,
Yeah.
And the first thing came onto your mind, and what about they're gonna reject me? I think for maybe automatically, we are programming, but you didn't listen to those negative thoughts. I'm gonna do it anyways, and then
I tell you honestly, when I was standing in this line in Malaysia, this big casting, and I was 2000. When was that? 2000 issue, so it was a while ago. But when I was standing in this line, I wanted to leave because we're all like that. I think sometimes we are afraid of what we can achieve.
Exactly.
Like I was afraid if I get this men's health cover that I get too much attention, and how I'm going to handle the pressure, how I'm going to handle things afterwards, And there was a time after this cover when I did TV show in Switzerland, or I did a home story. I was in all the newspaper, and the pressure was getting too much. I had how you call it, panic attacks,
Yes, panic, anxiety attacks.
Yeah, in my 20s, I had massive panic attacks, and that's why today I can help so many people who have panic attacks as well, friends and people who are trying to get into meditation or into mindfulness living, more awareness.
Yes, and I have a question to you, but you being super famous brands, I love Kevin Klein. I'm a big fan of Kevin Klein clothes.
Thanks.
How you deal to manage to be, as a fashion model and from a lot of people, super high profile brands, how you manage that? Because I suffer anxiety attacks. I suffer that.
I feel you. I feel you. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's a signal. Sometimes it's a little bit delayed, but we're doing good. We're doing good. It's almost like you are nervous and you're afraid. Sometimes, before shootings or before an acting shooting, I cannot sleep so well. Like I cannot sleep. When you go on stage, you always have that feeling of, I need to go and maybe vomit, or you don't vomit, but you have that feeling you need to vomit. And what really works is, for me personally, is calming myself down with breathing exercises. So I learned that in singing as well, deep stomach breathing. And then you calm down. And when you quiet again, like more relaxed, you go. Because I'm so high energy, like I talk a lot, I'm very energetic, but I also have a different side, which is then quiet, which is kind of a paradox, or how you call it.
Yes.
Is it the right word, paradox, English? Like
I think so.
ironic. I think ironic is the right word, maybe.
Yes. No, but I can imagine I cannot see myself walking with a perfectly walking and being. I couldn't be able, not me. But I admire people you to control, the anxiety, the fear, and critics and all these things. No, I can imagine. My admiration. That's awesome.
Angela, it was not always like this. I mean, I had times where my first test shooting or photo shooting I had, if you would see the picture, you wouldn't believe I'm a model, because the expressions and everything you do, you learn that on the journey. I used to did more, Zoolander, the movie, Zoolander. Like I did all these expressions, like too strong, and it wasn't natural until I had to learn to just be natural, be who you are, and the photographer will shoot the right moment at the right time. And but it's true. You do get nervous, and you do sometimes judge yourself. Are you good enough? Imagine if I would have left that day for the Men's Health cover, because I had doubts, and doubt is something that is not good, and we all have it. because I thought I'm not worth it to be on that cover because the other guys were in better in shape. But that showed me, because I booked this cover, that showed me for the rest of my life that
Exactly.
you never know. You never know. And you as well. You never know, what happens next. It's the exciting but also sad part, not to know your future.
Yes, yes. You know what I noticed, and I've been telling some people that if you get how can I say, a trauma in your life or something you want to overcome, you can go to the therapy, psychology therapy, to get over that. But if there's something that you avoid to try, you stick with that frustration, there's no meditation, there's nothing can get over it. It's better to comfort it and do it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm thinking, my personal opinion, it's very hard to remove that frustration of people's life. And that's the good thing that you says. What will happen if you decide not to attend the cast? You will start regretting and thinking,
Absolutely.
what will be happen and what will be happen? It will be
Yeah.
stick in your mind and your feelings. What will happen?
Correct.
And nobody can change that will be happen.
I give you another example. Actually, this is very confidential. I can't even share it, but I can share it to you because I'm not telling you exactly what it is. But I say, I just got signed to an amazing model agency, and just like a few days ago, I can say that's like fine. Sometimes careful what you can say before before everything's organized with the contracts and stuff. But what I want to say to you is now, all the people who listen, I messaged this modeling agency if they want to represent me. And before, 2 years before, they wanted to represent me, but I was already with somebody else. So I couldn't work with them. And then something was telling me, my intuition, the old contract ended. I got out of the contract and I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to message this agency again and see if they want to work. And something was telling me, do it, So I did it and I got signed. So if I wouldn't have sometimes your ego is stopping you from your greatness. If I would have said, no, I already talked to them before and maybe I should not contact them anymore because what they're going to think of me, because they wanted to work with me and I rejected them. But now we work together because I said, no, there's ego is only stopping you. The ego,
Yes.
the meditation, it doesn't exist. Like, have you heard that in meditation they say the ego doesn't exist?
Yes, and there's a lot
I
of
do have an ego.
No, and also there's before, I think most people have a thinking that ego or egocentric is arrogance, but doesn't mean that. The ego can represent in so many ways, and the most simple way that we can even imagine, like in your case, no, I'm not gonna do it. No, maybe it's fear, maybe it's something else, but it does not mean it's because you are mean or picky. No, simply is ego can be represented in so many faces. Yes, it happens.
It's so true. I give you another example. One woman 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I started talking with her, in the coffee shop, and she said to me, "It's strange you talking to me." I was like, "Of course, I'm a human being. I talk with everyone." And she's like, "No, I don't mean that. I mean, I thought you're very arrogant, like just tall, and you're probably very arrogant the way you look." And I'm like, don't judge a book by his cover. Like, we are sometimes so afraid and we judge things before they happen. I learned that we have to be very open in life and almost like no judgment, which is very difficult because everyone judges, sometimes unconsciously.
Yes, exactly. No,
Yeah.
in following stereotypes and those things. Yes, and that's when the ego comes, because to represent by fear, lack of confidence, to contact a specific person or a specific agency or specific group. Yes, and that was a good example, like you said. Yes, I think to just follow by stereotypes is another type of ego. Like they are like that. Most of them are like that. It's not for me. It's part of the ego.
Yeah. You know, there's a cliche in modeling that models are not so smart, like, you know, from the movies of Zoolander and other movies maybe. But I met one of the most smartest people in the world in my model apartments. You know, people study next and maybe are engineer and doing modeling on the side. So I learned really surprises you all the time when you just are open for everything. Like, it sounds maybe it's difficult to explain, but I don't judge anymore. I try to really, even if people say, hey, don't work with these people or don't talk with, you know, I'm like, I want to know him myself. Like, if, you know, people judge too fast, and me too. I mean, you know, as I had to learn to stop that.
Exactly.
If that makes sense. So,
No, it's true. It's true.
just like,
And David, but you have been successful career as a model and also an actor. And there was one specific call to my attention because you are also a screenwriter, Into My Ears. You were just
yes.
a small, short film. Can you tell us about that? Because I'm thinking reflect something personal because you wrote the script.
You're completely right. When I had the idea for Into My Ears, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was in London working for many years as an actor, doing student films and feature films and working my way up. And on one film set, which was at that time, I didn't know that, but it was a student film. But the ad and everything, how they posted it, looked like a good production. So I signed up for this production. And at that time, I was really new in acting. And long story short, we had a fight scene in the rehearsal and everything. We planned everything. And I got bottled with a instead of a glass bottle, it was a real bottle. I got bottled on my head. And my head split open and I had stitches. And unfortunately, I don't know because of that accident, but I'm suffering it. You know, is it called tinnitus in English? You know, the ringing in the ear. Like, it's a ringing in the ear, and which I'm having 24/7. Unfortunately, it's also there now. I hear like that.
My husband and my mom suffer that. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, I feel with him, because in the beginning it's really difficult to deal with that. But then I said to myself, if I can deal with that, I can deal with everything in life.
Yes, difficult. Can you imagine for singing?
It is as well sometimes. The good thing is with singing, it doesn't bother me that much.
You have to
What
manage
bothers
that.
me when it's quiet. You know, when it's quiet, I hear it extremely. So back to your question about the short film. I started writing this script with my director friend, Michael Orlick, who's a good friend of mine. And I told him about this idea I have for a film about tinnitus. Sorry, my English.
No,
and we basically meet up, and you know, we shot the movie in a few days. We did everything. It was a two-man show. Sometimes we had a scene where I was in the taxi, jumped in the taxi, 1-2 takes, and we got it. And he's like, yes, we have it, next one. So we didn't have a big production team or anything. We did it all ourselves. But the good thing was I could put this experience with my tinnitus into a movie, short film, which I wrote with him together, which is also action-based.
Yes.
So it's not just like a documentary or something, it's an action-based short film we did, and it was so much fun.
Yes, but that's good. Like you said, you express your personal experience, and because it's not easy. I like I say, my husband, my mom suffering that, and I mentioned and another plus admiration I give to you, because dealing that as an actor, dealing that as a musician, It's not easy. You're learning to
No.
develop to control that is something outside your head because it's like an outside little noise
Yeah.
bothering you, not allow you to full concentrate, but you're learning to develop to control that, to be able to continue.
And some days, Angela, you're completely right. Some days it really bothers me. Like I have some days where I'm like, why I'm having this? Like, why is it here? Is it from this guy who bottled me on the film set, which was also an accident? So I don't want to blame him because we all make mistakes. I do mistakes every day in certain things, and I learn from it. But that moment was just not so good because he could have hit my eye or this side, and I could be dead. You never know, and luckily I'm not. And I'm grateful to be here today and do this interview with you. But it is something that people who have that ringing in the ear, they have to be strong. They have to be strong.
Yes.
Also, in your family, it's like it's not easy.
No, I have friends too, and they, especially when they feel stress, it's like it's more intense, the noise outside.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also the food is very, you can tell him food is also important. I learned from myself, if you eat more clean, in a way of what means clean, like fatty stuff, it gets
Yes.
louder. If I eat, for example, I love potato chips, but if I eat a lot of potato chips, it gets louder. Maybe it's because of the fat, or I don't know what it is, because they say it's a circulation problem as well.
Maybe because it's too salty and it it's a factor to affect the high blood pressure. Maybe you're not suffering high blood pressure, but in some way connected with that. Just personal interpretation. I don't know. I'm thinking.
I agree with you. I mean, and like you said, stress makes it worse.
Yes,
And
exactly.
My job is so stressful, and yours probably too. So, I can't really help it that I have to get used to it over the years.
Exactly. And David, I saw you in the film 11, directed by Roxanne and Sean Cronin. I heard a lot of
Yes.
stories for that feature film because stream it cold. It was adventure.
Oh my
How you feeling about? Actually, I had the movie. I have a DVD. I like it so much.
Really? Amazing. Angela, it's nice that you mentioned 11, because until this day today, I believe that it was one of the most amazing experiences to shoot that movie with all this crew. Because when I got casted for this film, I didn't know that it's going to be so cold. Like, we didn't have all the luxury you have maybe when you have a studio film. We had an independent film that had a certain budget which was limited, and then make the best movie out of it possible. And when we were on set, it was so cold. Like, we had all like massive layers, and then we have our uniform and the jacket to warm yourself up. But it was so cold, and I said to Sean Cronin, I said, you guys been on the set for many already, and I just came for my role. And he's like, yeah, it's really cold, and prepare for tomorrow. It's going to be really cold. And Roxal is also a good friend of mine. And he's like, David, it's so cold. Like, you have to be prepared. And poor guy was also sick when he was on set. He had a flu or a cold or something. Was not really feeling well. But so, like, Rock is a big respect to him and Sean Cronin, how they all managed to do this movie. And then it was an interesting story, because when my part came to shoot, I had quite an emotional scene in the movie, as you saw. And the good thing is, Rock, he prepared me so well for the scene. He took me to the side before my scene and said, I know you can do it. I know I cast you because I know you're great in it. You will be amazing. Because he thought probably that I was nervous. because it's a World War I film and it's a historical film, and I wanted to do a great job. And maybe he saw in my face expression he's nervous, but he was very empathic and compassionate to take me to the side and say, you will do an amazing job. Because afterwards, I did apparently an amazing job. And that's the best thing you can do as an actor. When a director says, all right.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I like Roxanne so much. He's very lovely man. And yes, and that feature film I love so much. But yes, I heard a lot of stories, like you said, they were cold and yes, I remember Sean mentioned that in my interview. That was, oh my God, it's so cool. And I was following on Facebook because I was seeing the photos and all these things, and he mentioned so cold, it's super cold. We are almost dying of cold, freezing.
And what I never seen someone like Sean Cronin, his work ethic, I think it's untouched. Like, I don't know anyone who works so hard like Sean Cronin, because he was acting a leading role in the movie. He was directing. He was, at one point, he called me in the morning, like, I think it was 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I pick up the phone very tired, and I'm like, Sean, what's going on? And he's like, hey, David, we have to catch the first light in the morning. And I was like, why do you call me? And he's like, because I knew from all the people you're gonna pick up the phone. Because he thought, because I'm Swiss, I have my phone right next to my ear. Because it's the image that Swiss people are always on time and they're always very professional, and we are. But so I helped Sean Cronin carrying the camera and helped him with shooting also other scenes that day.
No, he's very.
And he keeps me so long.
Yes. That's what I told Sean, that you are a big mentor, because you've been involved for so many stages in your life in the film industry, and be acting as a top budget feature film like a Tom Cruise and Impossible Mission and Harry Potter and all these things. Now he's doing also fantastic independent feature film, and I'm looking forward for the Give Them Wings, wrote by Paul Hansen in his story.
I haven't seen it yet, but it looks amazing.
Yes, me too. I just desperately looking forward to be able to see here in America. And yes, like I said, Sean, he's very diverse, not only as an actor, as a director, and an editor, and
I think
he always encourages people to do it, and he's very, what can I say, he's an angel.
Well, I think you're right. I learned from Sean Cronin is he's very detailed. Like, he wants to have it his way, and he exactly knows what he wants to do. And first, it's you're like, because the pressure is on you. You want to do a great job, and you get nervous because you see there is such a perfectionist on set, which is amazing. But as an actor, you get nervous because you have to do a really good job, otherwise they wouldn't like it. And Sean, I learned so much from him that day, because I saw him working, doing all the scenes and preparations, but at the same time being friendly and talking with everyone. And then also Rock, who is one of my best friends still to this day, because he casted me in 11. Without him, there wouldn't be 11, for me personally, because he believed in me and he saw my show reel. He booked me for this movie, and it opened more doors for me. It opened me to get an agent and other things, which I'm very grateful. I told him that many times. But he was more the calm character, the teddy bear. He doesn't like when they call him teddy bear, but he was the teddy bear you can hug. And Sean was like, hey guys, we have to get this done. Like, let's work. I'm like, okay. So it was a good mix.
Yes, a good mix, exactly. And I'm looking forward to do interview with Roxal. And sadly, he left from Facebook, but I have his email, and he's very nice. And I love him. He's a beautiful, very beautiful person. And yes, absolutely.
He's very talented.
Yes,
he's very talented. He's a very good person. He's talented. I don't know if you read if you heard about his other scripts, but he has some really great scripts in development. He writes beautiful scripts, and hopefully at some point he told me we're gonna work together again. Will be amazing.
I'm pretty sure that will be happen. And he's also a non-stop person. Yes, he loves what he's doing.
Yeah.
And what about the award-winning feature film True Story of Pinocchio? That one is a horror movie, and you was the lead. You had the leading role. Well, how was it?
The problem is with the True Story of Pinocchio. We're still waiting for that movie to be made, because it was apparently the newest info I have was like he wrote the script and everything, and he had meetings, and I think in the end, maybe, I don't know if it was the investors changed or something, but the newest info I have now is that the movie is going to start soon, and that I'm casted for the delay. I'm casted for the role called Joshua Hill. I want to say I had to read Joshua, but he's a boxer. Joshua Hill. And I play a really cool character in the movie, kind of like a bit of arrogant guy, so I can show my modeling moves a bit.
But you know how they changed the characters Pinocchio to the bad character or something. That's I was reading on the description of the feature film.
The good thing about this movie is, the director and writer, basically the writer of this movie is Antonis Toumaidis, which is like a Greek, famous book writer in Greece, friend of mine, and he planned to write a script about Pinocchio in a horror story, which is amazing. If you read the script, I have it here, because obviously I read it many times, and it's just really good. It shows the Pinocchio definitely from another side.
But just be prepared, because the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey by Ruth Waterfield is a success right now. Everybody watch it, but people, you ruined my childhood, because I grew up thinking Winnie the Pooh was, totally opposite.
Yeah,
that reminds me that movie.
I think the actress in the movie, Natasha,
yes, Natasha Rothwell, yes.
She's a brilliant actress, and I think I really need to watch this movie.
Exactly, and she's very similar like you in the sense for mindfulness and meditation. I actually invite both of you in my show together, speaking about the challenges and actors challenge, because she's been challenges a lot of things, and both of you will be
great.
awesome.
I'm always happy. Always happy to talk about life and everything. Basically, I'm open for all the talks. You can ask me everything you want, because I'm always happy to learn.
Yes, and now she's also helping. She has a mindfulness business to help actors to develop confidence skills, and many things that you mentioned at the beginning of this interview connects me with her. Like, very similar. Both of you challenging the bullying and have restrictions and all these things, and now they are both of you very success. And what about to share this to other people? They have a lack of confidence, and see both of you, I make it. If I make it, you can make it. That's good.
I think I love Natasha. I sometimes also on Facebook check her videos or something. I don't have all the time, the time to really watch it, but I sometimes see it, and I think she does an amazing job with helping others as well, with mindfulness, with anxiety, and all the things we all have at some point. And we need more people like that to help others, and because life, I don't read so much the news, but if you read the news, you can get scared about things, and you need a really strong mind, and mentally you have to be so strong these days, or just in general. And if you have people like that who share good content and then positivity, I think it helps. You know, it really helps.
Exactly. But now Pinocchio, the true story of Pinocchio, and I'm looking forward for that one. I love those type of movies. They change completely.
You're gonna love it. The script is phenomenal.
Oh, fantastic. And getting back to your music, your album, when is the album going to expect and release?
We are actually recording new songs now in April. April we do new songs, and we hope that it will come by end of the year or maybe next year. It really depends how the schedule is gonna work out with the producer, because he has a lot of other projects. But we have the new single coming on the 17th of February, and also we have in March a new song which is coming. So
awesome.
Looking forward. We spoil the people. Thank you. It's exciting times. Like, it took me 38 years to release my first solo album, solo record.
But you're doing so good, and I love how you you perform the song, and you transmit the feeling. And what I like also is remind me like the kind of
take off my jacket. It's hot.
Old style fashion, like the 80s and 90s styles, because to be honest with you, the new age music, the new generation, I don't like too much. I'm more like a previous.
I'm also an 80s kid.
Yes, something like you can feel in your skin, you know, the only you is so beautiful, really hard to say goodbye. So when I saw the Hard to Say Goodbye, I was I was reading the script, and I was telling my husband, he's a poet. You enrich with good lyrics. And question to you, this album is gonna be half in German, half in English, or it's gonna be one album in English or one album in German?
So what it is I currently you know, when I met my producer, we had a few songs that he wrote which we wanted to do, and but when I was in Bristol, first time I was in Bristol, he showed me these songs, and then I flew back to Switzerland, and he sent me some other songs, which was Only You and Hard to Say Goodbye. And he said to me, you know, I studied you very well. So the thing is, I write my own songs in a way of, you know, I have maybe 8 or 9 songs which I wrote, which I try to get maybe on the album. But I think Michael Childs, because I have to give credit to him, is such an amazing songwriter, producer. And yes, first we planned to have a German and English version, but that was for Only You only, because we thought, okay, we see how the German people love the song, but we realized that the German people like English as well, which is funny. We didn't expect that. We thought the German is going to be what they want because they're German, but then everyone told me from Germany, no, I like the English version. So we kind of decided, should we do still a German version? Because
I like both. Even I don't speak German, I like the song because to me the music has no language. Because I like a lot of artists from the Middle East. I like Russian, I like German, but it's just the feeling, you know, the feeling has no language. It's just you transmit them, your feelings in the melody, and your voice has a melody. That's beautiful.
This means a lot to me because as an artist, as a singer, I want to be authentic. And you know, some people think I'm too nice. I'm not authentic, but this is me. I am. Sometimes I talk a lot, and sometimes I don't talk a lot. It depends how I feel. And music is the same. You have to express who you are. And you know, when I was in the studio and I was recording the song and I was singing the first line, the producer was like, do you really feel it? And I'm like, let's do it again. And then we did it. In the end, we did like maybe 20 times until it was really like, he's a perfectionist. And I mean, we did 6 songs in 1 week.
Oh,
it was so tired. I was so tired.
No, it is. Yes, it is.
I slept
I'm
with the clothes in the hotel room. I slept in the clothes because I was not able. I was able to brush my teeth, sit on the bed, and
yes, I know. Pues I'm looking forward. When you have the album, I want an autograph with your CD, and I want to be
of
one
course,
of the first ones to have I love physical copies. I like so much the physical copies, and looking forward to see more music of you. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a big success because,
Thank
like
you
I
so
said to
much.
you, someone who has been passing challenges in life, be around worldwide and communicate with people, anyone, with all experiences you're being facing, you have the skills to be able to transmit that in a melody. So what can I say, David?
Thank you.
Congratulations for all your projects, and I know I can feel the music is one of the big babies in your life that you want to
I really love.
reach.
I
Exactly.
love music. You know,
Yes,
it's so nice. It's so nice that you say that because, you know, I never thought it's going to take 38 years to have my first solo single released. I don't know why it takes so long, but as I said in the last radio interview, sometimes things take longer in life, maybe because we were not ready before.
exactly.
You know, if that makes sense. Like now I feel I'm mentally, physically, spiritually, I'm ready to show who I am. And
Exactly.
every word I sing, I can tell you 100% I feel it.
Yes, everything comes to the right time. That's my belief. And
I think
God's
so
time
too.
is perfect.
Oh my God, it is. It is. And you know, people always tell me like, do you believe in God or are you religious? And I say, I believe that we are all protected. That's the one
Yes,
thing I
I
believe.
believe the same.
I believe we are all protected. Otherwise, I wouldn't survived as a kid when I had the heart defect, or my travels when I was in Guatemala or other places. You know, I was always alone, and you know, sometimes you don't have enough money with you in the beginning, especially from modeling. You know, it can be tough, and then yes, of course, things get better after a while. But I believe, and that's why I say to my friends who ask me this, yes, I believe in God, and I believe that we are all protected, and everyone has a different path and a different journey, and we are all unique. And I always say I'm never in competition to other people because I'm my own competition in a way of I want
Exactly.
to be better than yesterday. So when you do push-ups or something, I want to do one more rep than I did yesterday or the day
Yes,
before. If that makes
exactly. No, it's true. I believe very similar as you. Like I believe that God is everywhere, and is a manifestation of the human and the human beings and everything living being.
Yeah.
That's my belief, and I would say that the God's time is perfect because God is in
Yeah.
you, God is in me, God is in your cat, God is everywhere. So that's how I believe.
Look, you just said something really nice. God is in your cat. This cat is trying to, you know. The funny thing is, she's 50 years old, and I'm like her. I'm like her father in a way of like she looks at me up, you know, all these years, and it's so funny. What I want to say with that is, we are all connected. That's
Exactly.
basically the
That's
message I
God.
try to explain.
That's how I see. This is the God manifestation that in every
Yes.
connection we do, any movement we do. So that's what I say. God's time is perfect because my clock is different than your clock. Your clock is different
Yes.
from all somebody clocks. And sometimes people feel desperate, like, why that person got married before me? It's not fair. We are the same age. Yeah, because that person have a different clock time than you.
I totally agree with you, Angela. You know, I have good friends in my life, which I'm grateful, and I'm trying to be always a good friend to other people as well. So if you have any problem, you let me know. You know, I
Oh,
always have the
thank
ear for my
you.
people.
Looking forward for your friendship. Yeah, for long for.
That's good, and I tell you, but unfortunately, we also have, sometimes maybe we're jealous of a person. Like you said, this person maybe achieves his dream faster than others. Maybe this person has a better voice than this. But if I learned to deal with jealousy from also other people over the years in a way of to be more compassionate, to not see it like this person is maybe jealous of me or this person is better than me, to see what can I learn from this person who is better than me at the current stage, and what can I do, because I realized jealousy, is something that friendships, also business relationships. I've been there before. So when I feel now there is an issue between people, or communication is the way to sort all the problems. Like, good communication is so important. Maybe that's why I talk a lot.
No, me too. I have a tendency to talk too much, and actually, yes, sometimes a friend of mine, they tell me, Angela, you talk too fast, you too much. And, that's my nature. That's how I am. Yes.
My friend today, it's funny that you say that, because I think you're beautiful how you are.
Oh,
You have
you too.
you have a really good energy, and you send me the text on Instagram, sorry, Facebook, like love and light, which I give so much love. I try to give so much love and help others. But my friend today said, when you have to interview, don't talk too much. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna be myself.
Yeah,
Like, even if I prepare now and say I'm not talking too much, I will still talk too much, because that's me.
No, actually, I want to change the word interview to change to chat, because that's, I think when we have, it's just a chat. Yes, that's just, like a friend chat. And because normally when when we mention interviews, like okay, and this, and this, and this, and I think it's kind of boring. Even have a more like a chat laughing. And if I say, did I say it right or not? Because it's chat.
And that's why I feel so comfortable, when you like people, and when you have a chemistry, and you realize, hey, it's just another human being talking to each other, you're more open. Like,
exactly.
I used to work in places, in New York or somewhere, where it was very, how you call it, posh? Is it posh? Maybe. I don't know, but sometimes I couldn't speak too much, or I had to be quiet, and it's so difficult. So at the end of my working shift, if I do a model presentation or anything, I can be professional, that's fine. Later, I was like, I can finally talk again.
No, I can imagine. No, and I seen all the interviews, and people just, okay, like a second question, and then the third question, and I see the guests feel like okay, okay. No, it's just relax, have fun, and actually, yes, one of the ladies interview I did to Lorraine Lane, she got a third place for, excuse me, for Miss Singapore, World Singapore, for women above 40. And then another friend of mine, Elaine, she's senior also, and she's a model, and she was model years before. And I got these two beautiful ladies together, just in a chat, a conversation to inspire others. Like, hey, not because you're 40, because I'm 42, you feel like too old not to be beautiful, and not old to not continue reaching your dreams. And we have a fantastic, wonderful chat. And I was, we have a good time together. And I see people are watching the chat, and they have a good time. That's make me happy.
I think that makes me happy too, because I love to talk about everything, spirituality or nature or entertainment, like so many topics to talk about. And I think, just being yourself and open, life is more fun than to be, just like,
no,
this.
just enjoy, have fun. It's true. No, pues thank you so much, David. What's up? Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, and looking forward for more interviews with you. Do a follow-up, especially for your album. I'm so excited for that.
Thank you
I
so
will be
much.
continue playing Radio Luminite, and please stay in tune, and as soon as you have the release or before the release, let me know, and then we can do another chat just to follow up. And I would like to do it a chat. I don't want to call it interview chat specifically about what is the behind of each song of the album. And I think it's very interesting. Will be interesting for the followers, for your fans.
Yes. So we have other songs on the album, which is about hope, about love, hope, about friendship, about being rejected. We all are sometimes rejected, either from a person, and it's gonna be a really thoughtful album, I think.
Yes, and we need inspirational music because it's not a taboo how the music is deteriorated nowadays, and we need to express, to share a message. And that's the good thing, the beauty about the independent sector, that we have the freedom to express without limitation, but specific industry limitations. Yes.
This is something for me was always very important, that I can be myself. Even now I work with an amazing acting agent, or I work with model agents, or with my music producer. They all know me now, by now, that I am hard to control, in a way of not control, but I'm just myself, and I like to collaborate with different people like you now. I always do what I feel, and the same in music. I believe that the best artists are the people who maybe have a lot of life experience, and also songs, and just people that you look up to, like,
exactly.
Also as human beings. They're not like, I wouldn't call them stars. Sometimes you have a role model you look at, and that's what I try to be for people as well. Like,
exactly.
I might look young, but I feel old.
Absolutely. No, pues thank you so much.
I apologize for the signal here, but I'm here far away. You're in Mexico or in America?
Yes, I'm in northern Mexico, and yes, I live in McAllen, Texas, and more Mexico, because I have my professional over there. Sometimes I broadcast over there, I broadcast over here, both sides.
Oh, nice, because when we started the interview, now the signal is great in the beginning, but that happens, and then
yes,
you have a cat walking
long
through
distance. Yes, that was David and the cat, and yeah, I know.
I love animals. I have
me
also, my brother
too.
has a dog, and we always go for walks and stuff. So it's amazing. Tomorrow, actually, we go again.
Yes, my parents, they have 5 geese, 10 roosters, 8 chickens. We used to have 2 dogs, because one of them, he passed. He was 15 years old, and the other dog, and now it's gonna be 15 years old, 2 Dobermans and 2 cats. Can you imagine? It was a big farm.
15 years old. The cat is also 15 years old. Mine is also 15,
yes.
And that's why she's so annoying sometimes, because she doesn't stop, making noise.
Yes, no, it's like a human. They lose patience. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They can lose patience fast.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Dave, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Looking forward to more interviews, more chats with you. And let's see what we can let's organize something with Natasha, both of you on the same frequency,
Yeah.
And the kind of similarities of experience in the entertainment industry. She's very inspirational, also mindfulness, and you also do the same. And yes, and looking forward for your album. Please keep me posted, and
thank you so much.
Stay in tune.
I thank you for the opportunity to do this chat, because it doesn't feel like an interview, because I'm just talking, with you, like we know each other forever, for a long time.
Thank you. Your words make my world. So thank you so much, David. And what you're saying now is bring me more motivation to continue with this show. That's very beautiful.
I think you should keep going, because don't look at the followers. Sometimes when I look at my followers on Instagram, it's not a lot, but on Facebook I have like 5,000. But I don't see them as followers. I see them as people. I I can share experiences, like you say, quotes or something. And I think you should keep going because you do have a gift, because yeah, I speak a lot today, and usually I'm not like speaking. I speak a lot, but not like now. So
No. Like you said, we
because of
have
you, maybe.
Oh, thank you. No, it's que we feel chemistry and good connection, like we met maybe in previous life. We have a good connection, and we have a mission to inspire others.
This is also a topic we could talk for hours.
Oh yes, yes, I love those topics.
I love that too.
Absolutely.
Have a good evening and a nice weekend.
You too. Take care so much. Big hugs. Take care.
Okay. Thanks so much. Bye.
I'm not the one that made her sad. I'm not the one. I'm not the one.